I'm here with Dick Greco, four-time mayor of Tampa. Thank you. Great to have you here, Dick.
Always good to be with you. This is great.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to ask you some questions in regards to local small businesses. And in general, what do you think makes a local small business prosper or thrive in a community?
I think that the way they treat customers and so forth, they can do a lot more if they want to than a large business because it's more personal.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a small business, so I'm very partial to that type of thing. And of course, we live in a different world than then, but you can remember somebody's name when they come into a small business. You can remember what they came in for last time. You can talk to them a little bit. Small business has always been the backbone of America, and I still think can continue to be.
Excellent, yes. And then in general, also, have you seen small businesses work together with each other?
I think when businesses are in particular areas, and there's several of them, you see them working together in a number of ways. When something comes up relative to traffic and to where you're going to put a light in, or another business is coming in, they take notice because it may affect them. Now you're beginning to see businesses get together occasionally and have seminars and talk about what makes them successful, and they learn from one another.
Yes.
You're doing so-and-so, it makes you better, we'll go back and try that in our business, and that type of thing. Mm-hmm. You're beginning to see people get together and share experiences that are good and bad. Some businesses today, as I understand, are beginning to trade customers. Mm-hmm. One business will say, I've got customers to do, I'll send them to you, and vice versa. That's beginning to start in certain places. Mm-hmm. So small business, I hope, thrives forever. I think it's very important. It's not easy today, especially if you're in an isolated spot. You have to grow your customer base, or you have to sell something that people buy all the time. Mm-hmm. Whereas that used to be the norm. It's not anymore. We had a hardware business in Ybor City for 50, 60 years. Mm-hmm. Probably knew every single person that came in there, and by name. Yep. They made a deal on how they were going to pay, and he wrote it in a ledger book in those days. And if they came in every Saturday, paid $1 a week or $2, and every one of them paid, by the way. I never remember in my lifetime someone not paying their bill. They would come on Saturday and not only bring what they owed or what they said they would pay, but maybe a fruit that was growing in the yard or collard greens or something like that. By the end of the day, our store looked like a grocery store on Saturday.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, as those people 20, 30 years later moved to various parts of town, places they never thought they would be, they came back to the day they died out of loyalty to the people that helped them. Some of that's gone, of course, and probably will never be again. But the advantage of small business is building that customer base, knowing them well, taking care of them, and servicing your customer.
Excellent.
I think.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, of course. And also, when you think of a successful small business, do you see them making more, trying to be part of a community, or just saying, look, I'm just going to look out for myself? And which type of business do you think would succeed more?
The more you're part of the community, the more people you meet, the better off you are, and you're doing something very American. You're giving back. To sustain anything, you have to give back, and a lot of people have forgotten that. You plant a garden, if you don't water it, fertilize it, dies. And a country is the same way.
Exactly.
In order to make it better, you have to give back, and you feel more kindly toward anything that you work that way with. Small business has always been the backbone of America. I think always will be. It's difficult today to start up a business that's not real large and compete with the giants and so forth. Now, the internet has made a tremendous difference. And there'll always be, I think, a place for small business, but the percentage of people that bought Christmas presents, so to speak, over the internet has grown immensely. I want to say it was almost a third, which means there may not be a need for the large malls that we used to build, the business I was in for years.
Exactly,
that may change. People may be starting to do business out of their home as opposed to offices being larger. So many things are going to change because of technology. And even the personal way that we live is changing because of technology. I've seen young people text each other in the same room rather than talk. That will make our society much different. I'm kind of a touchy person, and I enjoy that. I like people, and I think once we get to the place where we forget how to do that, it won't quite be the same. So somehow, somewhere down the line, I think we need to realize that being nice to one another, smiling, and those types of things matter.
How do you see it different, like when before the 70s, to do business in the community as it is today? Like the major
all the difference
things.
in the world. I remember our hardware store, and the things we sold don't even exist today. You bought nails by the pound. They're not in boxes. Screws weren't in boxes. I'll take 5 of those, 6 of those. Everybody that came in, you knew them. It was just a different world all the way around. Today is much different. But again, the places you feel most comfortable in, whether you realize it or not, are those that render customer service, which are friendly from the time you walk in. Can I help you? Is there anything you can't find? Those types of things. I think that matters.
Right.
And perhaps as we use the internet more and more and more, those things might even matter more than they do today. To be friendly, this sounds a little oversimplified, to treat people nicely, to smile, to not be angry, makes people want to come to a community. I've always heard that about Tampa. I've lived here all my life. She's just a friendly place, and it is. I don't know how you promote that exactly, but I hope people never forget that it's a necessary thing.
Exactly.
To be nice and to be friendly, and why not? I mean, it's a paradise we're living in.
Yes, and that's something you don't forget, obviously. Those are the things people do remember when they come or meet other people. Excellent. All right, well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing this wonderful information.
I appreciate being with you always. Good luck to you.